Right, Sorcha, are you sure you've put the right postcode in here for Hillhead?
Yes, we're going to Hillhead, yeah.
But we're going very, very far south. We're just through Somerset and heading towards Devon.
Yeah.
Hillhead's in Buxton.
You are thinking of the show. We are going to Devon. Pristine beaches, 120 of them I read. Dramatic coastlines, cream teas, fudge, lovely seafood, Dartmoor, Exmoor. Devon is absolutely beautiful.
Are you going on your holidays? Sounds like it.
We're going to Holcim's Hillhead Quarry in Devon. We're going to see the X180.
Ah, Hillhead Quarry.
So yeah, we're going to have a great time.
That'll explain it. But we're not going on holidays.
No.
That just seems to be when you pack a suitcase, have to use the passport, and any mention of sand, whether it's coming off a belt or at a beach, you think you're going on your holidays?
I'm in the holiday mood, yeah.
But no, we'll have to go and see this press then.
Yeah, okay.
On this road to Hillhead, we've seen a broad range of applications that use the filter press.
Yeah.
We've been to IMS, landfill restoration, using the filter cake for their own engineering on site and to create new landfill cells.
Yeah, we saw the urban quarry at JN Civils.
We've been to Collier's, hard rock quarry, washing overburden and crushed dust. The filter press is keeping both of those wash plants going.
And then Enva, where we saw where the ProPress is facilitating the extension of the racecourse at Punchestown.
And this one will be a natural sand and gravel site where the filter press has been brought in to reduce two things: reduce the water loss on site, which is an environmentally friendly and sustainable result, but it also allows them, when eliminating their ponds on site, it allows them to see out the remaining term of their current extraction license and will allow them then to proceed with a further application, a further term to extract long into the future. So sustains the quarry, sustains the business, the jobs, and also has an environmental benefit to the site as well.
Great. Well, let's go and see Anthony and the team then at Holcim's Hillhead Quarry.
And we're not going on holidays.
No, we're not.
Anthony, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yourselves?
We're very well.
Good.
Thank you.
Anthony, we're here to look at this ProPress and to hear what it has done for Hillhead Quarries down here.
Yeah,
So
excellent.
Where would be the best place to start?
Probably the best place to go would be looking at our former silt pond, and how we were disposing of silt initially.
okay,
Really?
You keep us right here, will you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Anthony, you were pumping the sludge here then before the installation of the filter press?
Yeah, historically at this site we've always pumped the silt to Sussman Lagoon, but we were aware of the fact that we were running out of capacity in our lagoon, but we still had quite a lot of material left to process. So we needed a solution that would allow us to carry on being able to process, really. And the silt press was the ideal solution for that, because it gave us the silt in a sort of form that would be suitable for restoration, rather than being sort of just confined to putting it into a form of void. So it's a much more flexible sort of restoration medium for us, really.
What have we got here? We've the last of the sludge ponds.
Yeah, this was our settlement pond up until January of this year, when our silt press and thickener was commissioned and came online. So since I started back on the site around 9 years ago, all of our silt was discharged in here. So running along that back face, we have the discharge line with a number of outlets, and we discharge in that side. We'd allow silt to settle, and at this point we would abstract and we would pump for cleaner water back to the plant. So we're pumping, when we're processing, around 450 cube of water an hour, and we work on silt loss of around 10%. So, you know, on a good day, sort of 250 ton of silt would get deposited in this pond. But the problem we encountered was it's very near to its capacity, and we knew we had to do something different to carry on being able to produce, because we've got no other suitable void into which we could deposit sort of liquid silt. So we needed it really in a solid form that we could use for restoration elsewhere, rather than just being sort of tied to discharging it into a former excavation.
I see here you're also keeping a tight eye on the levels of the pond.
Yeah, like I said, because it got so close to being at its maximum capacity. So the geotechnical team had told us our final fill level, and we got within around sort of 60 centimetres of that, which was probably as close as I want to get, to be fair. The other issue we had from an operational perspective, when we were using this on a day-to-day basis, to enable us to get a decent amount of assessment, we had to keep a decent covering of water in this pond as well. But because it's a sand and gravel deposit, all the walls of this pit are highly porous, so we were continually losing water, which was seeping back into the ground. So subsequently we were abstracting quite large volumes of water to pump in here to maintain that covering of water. So it was a continual sort of cost and effort to us to sort of keep putting water in it.
Supplementary water that was coming from an external source?
Two permitted abstraction points. So we have a groundwater connected pond on the other side of the site, and also an abstraction at a local river. So we were having to abstract there and pump into here just to keep that sort of covering of water. So it was quite a headache from an operational perspective. So now we've got the press commissioned. We're in a situation where the level of abstraction has dropped right off. So yeah, we're grateful for that. Probably the other thing that's been good for us as well is it's improved the quality of the water we're washing with and processing with as well.
Okay.
Because we had that issue where we were always struggling to maintain a depth of water in our assessment ponds. We weren't always getting the best assessment, so subsequently sometimes we were pumping back a water that probably wasn't as clean as we'd have liked it to have been. Whereas now with this, by and large, we're getting a cleaner water than we were historically.
The turbidity improvement then, and helps with the cleanliness of the product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And from an environmental perspective, then you're able to, the ponds, and when they dry and settle, you're able to restore that.
Yeah, that's the plan. Is we will wait until the silt sort of dries out in that pond. Now it's finished, and then eventually we'll cap it over and restore it, and it'll go back to agricultural land.
Brilliant outcome.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
ProPress has obviously helped then to maintain the water levels or reduce the supplementary water in, but it's producing the cake. Is there any additional benefit of having the cake in a solid form for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's for us, it's a much more versatile restoration medium than a liquid silt, which had to be sort of confined with an excavation. Whereas the cake we've got, we've been very impressed by how competent it is. Even in the wet weather, we commissioned the press in January, and we were very apprehensive as to how the cake was going to sort of behave when it was put into, out into the weather that we're seeing today. And it's been very, very competent, and we've been able to sort of create basses and slopes with it. So much more versatile, and it's helping us restore other parts of the quarry. So so it's a really, really good medium for us.
Is that replacing a material for you at all?
No, not really. Truth be told, it's probably plugging a bit of a shortfall we had in our sort of material balance for a restoration.
Okay.
So it will allow us to achieve a better overall restoration, I think. So yes.
And are you actively restoring just on the live site?
Yeah, we are. So we work on a sort of phased restoration basis. So as we're excavating an area, we're restoring for phases that we've previously worked behind us. So we've always got areas that are in full restoration and areas that are progressively being restored at the same time that we're excavating. So everything that comes out of press at the moment is going back into the void and is being used to restore areas that we've fully excavated.
Yeah, straight from press to the...
Yeah, absolutely. And that whole area is going back to a combination of wildlife area and pasture as well. So so hopefully we'll get a good sort of restoration at the end of it as well.
Very tempted to say that, and that's the cream on the top, but then I know I'm in Devon and I'm going to get a hard time for the pun there.
You are, yeah. Cream first.
Cream first. Very good. Okay, well, we'll go over and see the ProPress then, and
Let's have a look.
let Anthony
Yeah.
take us around it and
Okay.
show us what it's doing.
Excellent.
Super.
I really enjoyed that visit, Eunan. Very interesting for me understanding the clean water then and the improvement in the washed products through that improved water quality.
It's probably one of them things that's often overlooked, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you have the quality of your return water back to the wash process can affect the spec and the quality control of your outgoing product. And as Anthony said, would probably more borderline, no big cases of failure, but what the introduction of the AquaCycle and the ProPress has done has give them that comfort and taken away the risk of quality failure.
We are now very close to Hillhead, aren't we?
We are.
So-
We're another few miles or kilometres in the car and we'll be at Hillhead, Buxton, yeah.
Next week we will have a special guest in the car with us.
Who is it? Who's coming?
I can't tell you.
All right, okay. Big reveal, is it?
Indeed. It's a CDE expert, somebody who's been involved in the ProPress since the start, so it'll be lovely to hear about the journey from them.